There we go. I do run a podcast, and this is how we do the live ones. Like we
Sure.
have like a little screen with just like who's on. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I don't know like what your personal anime avatar, like
Oh
your
God,
preferred
this is,
personal anime avatar is. So I just used a picture of the tower.
no, that's
I
fine.
hope you're
That's
okay.
fine.
Okay, and mine is just my picture there. So hey, so finally a collab of some sorts. Uh, if people don't know who the Clock Tower is, or Colton from the Clock Tower is, the Clock Tower is one of, if not one of the best YouTube, like Weiss Schwarz YouTube channels, like hands down, on YouTube. Like
Well, that's very kind.
they are so good. Like they upload constantly. Their deck profiles are some of the best, like some of the best deck profiles, and it just I don't know. Like so, kind of like what I want to ask is like, it's difficult or it's not difficult for me. It's hard for me to talk about YouTube with other like people
Yeah.
because like I don't know that many people that do YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so one of my like questions is what made you and Brandon want to start the YouTube channel?
Well, first things first. You say that we make good deck techs. I like an asterisk on that. Brandon makes
Brandon.
good deck techs. I make jank. I make garbage because I think it's fun to just try to burn people's faces over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't build the good things. Brandon's the one who does like when there's a new set. Brandon tends to like the first thing he does is he just like looks at all the cards and tries to build something. And I think like especially I think his slime deck and his Adventure Time deck are both just fantastic. And I am petrified of what he's going to do when he gets his hands on Data Live next
Dude,
month.
you got to stop him.
Actually,
Stop
that's in
him.
like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that is very soon. Stop him.
I'm trying. Like, so I'm gonna be honest. Like almost everything that I've been working on for the past several months, it's been like, okay, but can it beat Data Live?
Yeah.
It's been like, I'm so convinced that Data Live is at least gonna be a third of what you see in Swiss.
Yeah. I do expect it to be like not like overly represented. Like for sure.
Yeah, I think it's like AOT had this thing where it was like, there were only a half a dozen people who would take it to regionals, but those half dozen would all make top cut.
Yeah.
Don't think we're going to have that same kind of thing going on with Data Live. I think it's going to be a lot more common. It just sold so well, and it's one set.
Yeah,
You don't need any cool stuff.
like everything is sold out. Like it's sold out literally everywhere.
Yeah, and it's because it's really, really freaking good.
Yes.
And shockingly, people want to play, good cards. They want to win games. So
Yes, that is shock to everyone. Like it's from what I like gathered, because I'm like I know what a Data Live is. I'm not like 100% sure. Like I've seen like a couple of the episodes of the anime. I've never read the light novels. It's extremely popular. So the fact that it's extremely popular, like as a series itself, plus having like extremely good cards, it's like it's an open and shut case. It's going to be very strong.
oh yeah, we're gonna see a lot of it. But to actually answer the question that you actually asked, which is why did we start the channel? It was actually Brandon's idea.
Oh.
Brandon reached out to me and said, "Hey, I think I want to do Weiss stuff on YouTube.
Hell
You
yeah.
want to join me?" And I said, "Sure." And then we just kind of went from there. We just talked about like what we thought were reasonable expectations for us because we knew that we wanted to have a regular upload schedule or we would never upload.
Oh yeah.
So at least for me, like Brandon would probably upload with some consistency, but me, I need deadlines, as evidenced by the fact that many times my deck techs go up at 11:58 on Tuesday. That's oh gosh, I did this in college. I continue to do this now. I push deadlines to the absolute max. But point is, Brandon's idea. He said that he thought that it would be fun. So we did it, and it has been. So I've really enjoyed it, and I always thought of myself kind of as a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Even though I never really did any YouTube stuff, I always thought it would just make sense for me to do YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So I've always had a couple of ideas kicking around in the back of my head of, some stuff I might want to do with YouTube. So this was just an easy way to get into that and to make stuff.
Yeah. What were you like kicking around? Like if it wasn't for Weiss Schwarz, what would it be?
If I weren't doing Weiss stuff, I would be doing.
Let's Plays.
So are you familiar with John Boyce? He's a writer for SB Nation.
No.
Okay, if you're not familiar with him, you should be. JONBOIS. 100% look him up. He is honestly like my biggest creative inspiration. He did a series called Pretty Good, which is stories mostly about sports, but told in this really eclectic, really interesting, almost surreal kind of way. And that's the kind of stuff I would love to be able to tell, those kinds of stories.
Yeah.
In a video medium.
Type it in the chat, because when I looked it up, it gave me someone completely different. It gave me a chief investment officer.
That's interesting. Yeah, he works with. So he works for SB Nation. He works for SB Nation. The channel is now called Secret Base.
Oh, I spelt it wrong. That's why.
His best series to me is Pretty Good. That's my favorite. He also does another one called Chart Party, where he basically talks about statistics in sports that are interesting or attention grabbing for some reason or another. Lots of he broke video games for a while. His first breakout was it was called Breaking Madden, where he would take the Madden video game and basically just push it to its limits.
Yeah.
So fun stuff like that, but I really appreciate what he does with Pretty Good. That's I think some of his, in terms of YouTube, it's his best work.
Yeah. And would you do something like more like sports related, or like something like Pretty Good, but like what?
I would and this is, I would not have a regular upload schedule, probably. I would basically just jump in on a project or a story when I found something that struck me as interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then like if things grew and, whatever, I would, probably commit to something a little more normal, but
yeah.
But I'm also a huge fan of I love Let Me Know. I don't know if you've seen his stuff. He's like an animator who tells stories about kind of it's history, but also like the culture of history, if that makes sense. The way that we talk about historical events in the modern context.
Oh yeah, I see.
As well as the way that we kind of perceive the way that we see ourselves in those.
Yeah.
It sounds really high concept. It's actually just like pretty moving pictures. But that's the channel that I'm a huge fan of. So and I'm not an animator at all.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff that I would like to be, like long form, half an hour to hour and a half long, kind of long form storytelling.
Ooh,
would be my. Like, I love that stuff. I absolutely live for it. So
I'm on the Let Me Know channel, and he did a video on that S. You know the
yes,
S?
He did.
Dude,
yeah, it's
okay.
Incredible.
Legit, like when I was like in middle school, like I had. If nobody knows what the S is, how do you even describe it? It's a thing.
It's the universal S.
Yeah, it's the S. The S.
It's the one it's a diamond shape with a couple of lines. We have been making that shape as human beings for hundreds of years, and no one knows why.
Dude, shut up. Okay, I'm gonna have
doing that S forever, and there isn't like a true origin point.
All right, I'm adding that to my watch later. That's insane.
Because I grew up in Michigan. It's like I grew up across town from Michigan State University.
Yeah.
So like when I grew up, that was called the Spartan S, even though it's not anything like the Michigan State Block S. But that's what it was called, because it was one of those Block S kind of shapes. But yeah, no, and the dude, like, he did one of my favorites is the video he did on the search for DB Cooper, the guy who literally hijacked an airplane, got ransom money, and then jumped out of the plane over the Pacific Northwest, and no one ever found him.
Yeah.
Just incredible stuff. So Love stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I'm super into videos like this too.
I love that stuff. So I spend way more time on YouTube than I probably should.
Dude, stop. I'm on YouTube like 24/7. Not because like, I make like YouTube videos and stuff, but I'm just always on. I'm like, all right, what, like I don't have Netflix. I just watch YouTube videos. Cuz there's
I
just
spend way
so
more time
much
on
stuff.
YouTube.
Oh yeah. Yeah, me too.
And whatever I watch on Netflix just happens to look like YouTube, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's all doc series and mini docs. Like that's all I watch.
Oh,
So
dude, I live for that. I live for that.
like, I grew up watching Nova as a kid and I never grew out of it.
So, oh well, yeah, you already answered what would you be doing instead? So what was the process of having your very first video uploaded? Like, did you two like work on it like a lot, or did you spitball ideas like, all right, what would the very first video be? Because the very first video was the the first clock talk. Which, all right, can you explain what a clock talk is?
So okay, so the idea was when we launched the channel, we were what are the things that we like on Weiss YouTube? What are the things that we like that we think that other people would like? We so like we talked about the channels that like did the kind of content that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And we knew we wanted to do deck techs. Like that's kind of a given. Everyone does deck techs sometimes.
Yeah.
But we also knew that like there wasn't like we liked the videos where people would talk about what was happening in the community. Like when the Burn One podcast first launched.
Yeah.
And it was a regular thing for a while. Like that was really nice because you kind of got caught up on what was going on, and you got caught up on what some of the best players were saying and thinking. And we thought that we could do something like that, but something that was a little more informational than speculative. I think like we were going to talk about, a lot of what we do is meta speculation. How will this play into this, things like that. But also like I think it's nice for the community to have something where every 2 weeks there's just this half-hour video where you can get caught up on all of like the news, as it were.
Yeah.
And maybe get some idea of commentary as well. Like there'd be some kind of so there'd be some other thoughts on what was going on with all of it, and then there'd be opportunities to do previews and things like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where. So we knew we wanted to do those things as well as some gameplay, just because everybody does gameplay, so we figured we might as well do some too. So then we decided we got a schedule together, and that's where we came up with, okay, we can do a clock talk every other week. We'll do deck techs in the off week, so we aren't making a deck tech every week. My initial proposal to Brandon was we should do a deck tech every week, and he said, "There's no way, we will run out of things to make deck techs about."
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And it turns out he was incredibly right. I cannot imagine trying to make a deck tech every 2 weeks. I make one a month at this point, and it's a lot more work than I ever thought it was going to be. It's good work. I like it, but it's work. You have to commit some time to it.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
One of the things that we both agreed on was like one of the reasons that we decided on an upload schedule like we did is because we wanted high quality and production value.
Yeah.
Even if it's simple, we want it to look nice. So that was something we intentionally decided to work on. I'm getting away from your question again, which is first video.
No, that's good. That's good. This is all like good lead up to like the very first, like your thought like what you wanted in the channel.
So the idea was, when we launched, we wanted to launch with more than just one video. We didn't want to have just one video on the channel because we thought that would look kind of empty and weird.
Yeah.
So we decided to launch multiple videos on the day. and also to kind of keep our own distinct personalities to some extent, because like the clock tower is very much, it's both of us together, but it's also both of us separately, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
We we do we do things collaboratively, but we also have the freedom to kind of go in our own separate directions for the things that we do individually, which is, I think, a really good working relationship to have. It helps that we're just really good friends and have worked together for years on various things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, on day one, we said, let's launch a clock talk. Let's launch each of us a deck tech and a gameplay video of those decks, just so that we can kind of give a full spectrum of this is what we're about, this is what we're going to try to do, and then from that point we stick to an upload schedule. And
Yeah.
That's what we did. The first clock talk is 6 minutes long, which is hilarious in retrospect.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I see, like, immediately after that, your next clock talk is, I believe, 32 minutes.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, there are some things that we've changed. The first thing, so you probably noticed that the first gameplay video is literally 2 hours long.
Yes, it is. That is 2 hours of. I don't even think I've played a game that lasted that long.
Well, it's because initially the plan was, when we were going to do gameplay videos, because the plan all along was, when we released a deck tech, we released gameplay 2 days later, because that made sense. Like, okay, we just made this deck, now let's show how it works.
Yeah. Understandable.
The initial plan was we were going to play 3 games with the deck.
Oh.
We were going to play like a high level meta deck, something that's kind of mid tier, and then something that's jank, to try to kind of give, like, okay, this is how this plays into this caliber of deck versus this caliber, trying to kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
For like what a deck can and can't do. One, that means a lot of recording. A lot of recording. And
Yeah.
it's like, I love playing Weiss, but there is a different kind of, it is less fun to play for a video than it is to play just to play.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say yes to that. I know exactly like what you mean.
Because, well, I think in part it's because there's this pressure. I think there's, like, for me anyway, I feel the pressure to not mess up, because if you mess up, you have to fix it, which, you know, Brandon edits most of the gameplay videos, and I'm usually the one who screws up when we do gameplay. So, like,
yeah.
if there's a weird jump, it's probably because I messed up somehow.
Yeah.
But we stopped doing that for sure, and now we just play one game. And now that we use Weiss Fight, it's so much easier than it used to be. Because, like, Untap wasn't bad, but it would get slow. After a while, it started to get really, really slow.
Yeah.
They rolled out some updates for mobile, and it just really slowed down the desktop client.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really nice having Weiss Fight. It makes that, like, our gameplay videos used to be 45 minutes to an hour, and now they're like a half an hour game, which is really nice.
How do you like Weiss Fight? Like, you've used it obviously for the last gameplay video, which was, I believe, the last week of February, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it would have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. How do you like it so far?
I absolutely love it.
You don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, do you?
I do not play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Because that's it's very reminiscent of like Dueling Book, which I used when I was a lot younger. But I've tried it on stream once. It was a bad idea to try it on stream, because I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm making a fool of myself. So I have been meaning to go back and try it out, like legit, like try it out, not on stream.
Yeah, no, Weiss Fight is 100% my favorite way to play online. Like, that doesn't involve physical cards. I would rather play over webcam. That's, like, ideal, because you're playing with the physical cards, and I think that I play better when I'm playing with physical cards.
Yeah, I do too.
Aside, if physical cards aren't an option, it's Weiss Fight all the way. Tabletop Simulator is excellent, the mods that have been created for it are very, very good. Shout out to both 360 Cancel and ENTCG for making some excellent mods for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's for me, it's a little bit difficult just because it's a running tabletop simulator is a massive program for my laptop.
Ah,
So whereas Weiss Fight is literally just an in-browser, super light, super fast. It still has some bugs, obviously. Um, Still working out the like sometimes it will crash somewhat randomly, um, things like that. But it is improving. It's gotten so much better even in just the month or so it's been live.
yeah.
So it's been a godsend, honestly. As soon as we discovered it, as soon as we heard it was being created, we were like, do we want to we want to try this out? And as soon as we tried it, we were like, we have to use this.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's very intuitive. It pulls deck lists directly from Encore,
Yeah.
so you don't need to add and drop cards from lists or whatever. You literally make the deck list where you would have made the deck list anyway, and then just import with a link. It's incredibly fast, incredibly easy. Everything's clearly marked. The buttons are intuitive. Even the hot clicks, like the left click and the right click to do things, like you left click to send cards to clock or stock or whatever, or to resolution zone. Very intuitive. It takes a second to get used to, but once you're used to it, it is easily the easiest way to play Weiss Online.
Damn. Well, I have a gaming PC, and so I'm totally okay. Or like my PC is like, I don't want to, not to brag or toot my own horn, but it's kind of high end. But like I'm totally cool with playing on Tabletop Simulator, but I'm still gonna give it a shot. I'm still gonna give Weiss Fight a shot.
The thing that's nice with Weiss Fight, I think, for people who have good machines, is the ease of creating and editing decks. It's a little bit of a hassle to make a deck in TTS, at least unless they've changed the process since I
They have not. It is you need to open up like Microsoft PowerShell, you need to put in like your code, you need to do all this other stuff. Then you got to add the translations on top of that. It's a mess. It has not gotten better at all.
Whereas Weiss Fight literally just pulls that stuff directly
from EncoreDecks, yeah.
And for the JP stuff, it translates it.
I did not know that. So
yeah. So like if you're playing with a card that's in Japanese, the text will show up over there on the bar on the right that you see on the screen, where you can hover over a card and read it.
Yeah.
It will show
the translation.
It'll show how it reads in English. Yeah, even if it's not even if the card hasn't been released in English yet.
Wow.
So like the data cards that are in the field right now, for example, if one of them is hovered over,
they'll come out in
the
English.
Text. Exactly.
Wow, what am I doing? Why did I buy this expensive ass computer? I could have just stuck with my laptop. So you did mention a little bit about who splits up the work, because for me, when I do a video, I write the video, I shoot the footage, I edit the video, I upload it, I do everything. It's just me. Every now and then my girlfriend helps me with like a skit or something. But since there's two of you, how is the work divided? Or is that like a industry secret?
Oh gosh, no, I don't think it's a secret. So with our individual deck techs, we do our own thing. I handle my own, he handles his own, which is why we have distinct visual styles, which you probably noticed if you watch my deck techs, they look a little bit different from Brandon. It's not like massively different.
Yeah.
But, so like, but our visual styles are different. We both kind of just handle our own deck techs. For Clock Talks, usually what happens is Brandon edits the audio and I edit the video. So like I'll record my audio in Audacity, he'll record his in Audition. I'll send him my audio when it's done. He'll splice it together and chop it up. I will make the visuals. Mm-hmm. So like what you see on screen during a Clock Talk is me. I do that. And then I overlay that in the video file over what Brandon has done with the audio. So like once he sends me the audio, I'm in charge of the visuals and making the actual MP4 file that we upload.
Oh.
For gameplay, Brandon usually does all the gameplay editing. It's a little more straightforward than the audio edits just because it's more casual. We're not as
Yeah.
concerned about ums and uhs.
Oh,
So it's a lot more stream-like.
yeah.
We just cut mistakes mostly. So I would say Brandon probably does more of the labor for the channel than I do.
Shout out to Brandon.
But yeah, shout out to Brandon. This channel would not exist if it weren't, one, for Brandon's idea, and two, I don't think I would do this on my own because I would not enjoy it. I don't think I would enjoy doing what you do as like a YouTuber on your own. I don't think I would enjoy that. I also like having a foil because I have all kinds of bad ideas.
Oh shit.
I have so many bad ideas. The number of times I've gone to Brandon and said, "What do you think of this?" And he's like, "That's terrible. Why do you do it?"
No. Damn it, Brandon. I want to see these bad ideas.
No, believe me, our like to dislike ratio would be a lot worse if it weren't for the Brandon does content control on me.
It's always
Brandon has
good
kept me from some really awful decks.
Yeah, that's like me and my bandmates. Because like I am in a band. If people listening don't know, I always like. Oh, we always try to keep each other in check. Do you know Hannibal Buress, the comedian?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you know the show at the Eric Andre show?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the skit where Hannibal Buress was Officer Buress when he was dressed as a police officer and he's like handing off like we usually protect him, but today we serve him, and he's like walking around like with like a 40 and stuff. He wanted to make a shirt that said our band name and had a picture of Hannibal Buress dressed up as a police officer, and it's gonna say all cops are Burresses, so like ACAB. And I was like, dude, that is an awful idea. Like, let's not do that, because we're trying to be like a serious band, right? You know what I mean? But and then it's good to have someone to keep you in check. Long story short, we ended up printing those shirts, and so we have like I'll send you a picture. I have one, and every time I look at it, I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's a funny shirt.
Lunchbox. It's good to have people in check that keep you from doing stupid things. Also, Lunchbox. I have one of those shirts now.
It's a great shirt. Oh, now I gotta look for it. It's a great shirt. It's an amazing shirt.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, as far as labor division, I think Brandon probably does a little more than I do. He also works on... Brandon also works hard on other thits, if that makes sense. Like, he usually is... He thinks further ahead than I do.
Yeah. I just sent it to you.
Oh, God.
Isn't that great? It's good.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, hey, you can't be serious all the time. But all right, so Brandon does a majority of the labor. So yeah, shout out to Brandon, hardest working person in the clock tower.
hardest working Weiss tuber.
Yeah, hardest working Weiss tuber for sure.
No, he thinks further ahead than I do. He's already thinking about, so like we have a project coming up for the summer where for Heaven's Feel 2, once all those are out, well, not so much once all those are out. In the lead up to Heaven's Feel 2's release, we are going to do something that we're calling the Holy Grail War.
Oh, we're getting an exclusive sneak peek right now.
Yeah, we talked about it really briefly on the channel at one point, but the idea is that we have built a deck for each of like the main figures. Basically, we built all of the possible Weiss decks out of the Fate stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to play them off against each other in what is essentially a Grail War style battle. With live gameplay in each of the days leading up to the release. So basically just like a massive profile of all of the stuff that Fate can do.
Yeah.
And that's coming out in June. Brandon has made so many plans for that already because he's better at planning ahead than I am.
Dang. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at planning ahead as well. That it's gotten to the point where I was like, okay, I have all these ideas for these videos that I got to do. So I wrote them all down on a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, that's good enough. As I'm saying that, I literally cannot find the piece of paper with all my video ideas written down.
Yep.
Well, I should have backed that up. Yeah, it's literally gone. It's not on my desk anymore. Oh well. Oh well. Oh wait, is this it? Yes, it is. So I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I have it. I have videos planned all the way to the beginning of July.
Mm.
And that's not counting like stuff that just happens. Like my most recent video that I had to upload. Well, I didn't have to upload it. That I uploaded that was about talking about the SP cards that we're not going to be getting. That just happened. And so stuff like that is just always going to happen. But yeah, I totally understand what you mean with just being bad at just trying. I don't know. Staying focused is kind of like difficult, I'd say, for me.
Yeah.
I
agree with that.
I don't know. I'm not getting fatigued. Like I'm not getting tired of doing Weiss Tube. Like, but like, dude, I've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
So
for me, having someone else that helps, like, do things as well, it helps me stay motivated.
Yeah.
Because, like, a Brandon will just text me out of the blue and say, "I was looking at this. What do you think of this?" And then it gets the gears turning, and then I'm back in the Weiss brain.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a foil, someone that you can argue about cards with.
Oh yeah.
Just on a regular basis. That's so helpful, and it also keeps the creativity going. Yeah, and it just having someone to bounce ideas off is really, really helpful for me in my creative process. So yeah, so as far as the division of labor question, I think Brandon does a slight majority of what we do. In terms of like the labor, but it's definitely a collaborative effort. Yeah.
Yeah. Has the pandemic contributed to the output of videos?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Because we started the channel right after lockdown.
It says your first video was uploaded 10 months ago. It says, oh, so you're almost at a year.
Yeah, April 30th, 2020 was our first video, and that was after we'd been in lockdown for like a month and a half or so.
Yeah.
This was I'm pretty sure that this was a pandemic idea to some extent. If the pandemic hadn't happened, I think we'd still be doing this, but I think we would probably not have been as aggressive when we initially started it. We probably wouldn't have done the 2 videos a week thing.
Yeah.
But as the pandemic has eased a little bit, like both Brandon and I have been able to work. So like I'm more or less on a normal schedule at this point.
Yeah. And
I think Brandon is too. We've figured out how to make this doable. So the upload schedule was definitely influenced by the pandemic, but I think we've gotten to the point where we're going to be able to consistently keep this kind of upload speed. We haven't had any conversations about slowing it down.
That's
nice. Because I don't think we need to. We are never doing what we did for the Weiss Schwarz Invitationals again, though.
Oh, wasn't that like a video like every day? Wasn't it?
More or less a video almost every day for about a month. That was honestly.
Oh, dude, I can't even imagine.
Real talk, it was honestly our big break.
Hey, that's good though. So we can't, you can't be too mad. You can't complain.
The channel exploded. Like we went from 2-digit subscribers to almost 200. Probably close to like 150. I think we got to 150 by the end of the invitationals. Like we were picking up several subscribers a day for like a 6-week period.
Yeah.
Because of invitationals, and we got a lot of shout outs from a lot of the big channels, and I think where we first started to really get noticed by the community, because I think it was because it was such an aggressive project. Like we literally did a recap of all of the day's acting. It was basically Sports Center for the invitationals.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
so we did that, and it was great, and like I'm glad we did it. But we will never do something like that. Not on a daily basis. Again, if the invitationals come back next year, we'll probably do something every few days,
Yeah.
or maybe once a week, and it won't be as in depth for sure.
Yeah. You
It's
you
just-
know
it was
you
never
better
work.
start gearing up now, because they're definitely going to be doing the invitationals again. And if you guys
hope
do
they do.
if you guys do not get an invitational, I'm going to be so upset.
Oh gosh.
I'll either you or Brandon. If you guys don't get an invitational, I'm going to riot. I'm
That's
going to
looking
start I'm going to start a protest.
But yeah, if invitationals happens again this year, we won't be doing that aggressive of an upload schedule. That's the one. That in terms of like how the pandemic affects the schedule, that's the one thing that probably would change. But that's also probably the only thing that would change. We did kind of change the schedule a couple of months ago, because instead of doing a second gameplay video a month, where we just do, or no, excuse me, it would be that's right, because we have a gameplay video every week after the deck text, and then on the off weeks we were just doing open play, where we would just play whatever.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where we were just kind of playing the same stuff over and over again, and we wanted to do something a little different, and that's where 5 cards 5 minutes comes from.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was about to ask
It's
about
relatively low effort. It's nowhere near as intense of an edit as a clock talk, because it's, like an eighth of the length.
Yeah.
Literally 5 minutes. But it's interesting content, and I think helpful content, more so than just having more open gameplay of the same decks that everyone's seen over and over again. So that's where that came from. And that, it hasn't gotten a ton of traffic, but we like doing it, so we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, 200 views for Weiss Tube is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at your first one. You're at 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Your second one's 5 minutes and 1 second. So you're close. It's close.
Look, I tried so hard to make that video exactly 5 minutes, but every time, like, if I update it or if I trim it, it just goes back and forth. It can never sit on 5 minutes. I don't know how to game YouTube to get it exactly 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So eventually, I said, screw it. 501's close enough.
Yeah.
This isn't Vlog Brothers. There's no punishment for going 1 second over.
Yeah. Your most recent one is 5 minutes though, which is a really good video. I really like that. Where you talked about the uncommons and commons.
Doing uncommons and commons is one of my favorite things, because I think there are so many good cards that will never be talked about, especially, or like, when new sets come out, everyone wants to talk about, the big combos and, the big level ones and the best.
Give me the double rares. People just want the double rares.
And that's good. Like, those cards are the best for a reason. But there are so many uncommons and commons that make decks work. Almost every deck runs some uncommons or commons.
Yeah.
So identifying which of those are going to be useful. Like, one of the most game-changing cards in Konosuba is the Snot Aqua, and that's an uncommon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's free stock gen on an uncommon, which means that everyone had easy access to it, at least at first. It's like a $4 or $5 card now, but like, that's something that it was a good card, and it was an important card, and that's the kind of card that can get overlooked when sets drop.
Yeah.
So we did that to,
Yeah.
we did that to profile those.
Yeah, whenever I do the live set overviews, like, I try to like quickly go through the commons and uncommons, but there's like some gems that I would have never, even like the card that I just sent you. There are gems in there that I would have never have heard of. And I don't think anybody in the community like talks about these cards. Like the one I just sent you, with the people that don't know, it's I don't know, I can't read kanji. I flunked Japanese 201. It's this card. This one in the Magia Record anime. You burn 50, then you just top check 4, and you choose a character, add it to your hand. That card is so funny. That card is hilarious to me.
Someday someday I want to make a deck. There are some sets that have enough synergy where this is potentially possible. A deck that pulls every that pulls all of the climaxes out of a deck and then does this. Because there are plenty of cards that do 50 damage. There are at least 3 that I can think of.
There's
that do 50 damage.
yeah, there's a couple that give you plus 50 soul, like the aqua,
Right.
the pink one in Lucky Star on play gain 50 soul.
Yeah. So like, if you can rip someone's deck free of climaxes, which like there's a Wiz combo in Konosuba that does that. There's there are other combos that can like that and there's stuff that can pull climaxes out of deck. So that if you can get to the point where someone has no climaxes in deck, you play one of these, you win the game immediately.
Yeah.
Which it's super memey and not practical, but it would be fun to build.
Yeah,
so like
definitely.
I'm gonna try to. I think Konosuba currently has one of the best packages for that. There's another deck, I can't think of it. There's another set that has some of that. I'm sure Brandon will remember and type it in the chat. But there's stuff like that has just insane, truly unconscionable amounts of burn, and if you can get it to stick, you win. But that would require you obviously pulling a bunch of climaxes out. It's a whole thing. But
yeah,
it's and honestly, Jank is super fun.
Yeah, it is. It's very enjoyable.
It's so good. And the best part is when you make a jank deck that accidentally becomes better than you think it is, and then you start teching in some stuff that is from the main deck, and you suddenly realize, oh man, this jank interaction actually is really good, and then you run it as your main Konosuba deck. Oops.
Yeah, that was me in my Darkness deck, because I was like, all right, I like Darkness. She's a funny character. She's enjoyable. And then I started building that Darkness deck on stream too. And again, thanks for helping build that. And I'm like, dude, I love this deck. This deck is so much fun. It's not that good. Don't get me wrong, it ain't that good. But God, it is so much fun to play. And I think that's I think I mention this all the time. That's like my main point of playing Weiss Schwarz and just like making like quote unquote fun decks is like I want to like just have fun while I play the game. Yeah, I'm not gonna win all the time, but at least I'm having fun doing it. My opponent's having fun while I do it as well. Like that's I think like the main point of why I play Weiss.
And that's to get to like Winning Image dropped a question in the chat a little while back. What do y'all believe is the role of
we gotta read
community?
We gotta read. We gotta read the chat. Yeah, what is the role of the Weiss content creator in the community? Oh wait, do you want to answer that first? Because I gotta think about that. I've been doing this for a long time.
So this is one of the reasons that I like working with Brandon, because Brandon answers this question in the chat, and I think his answer is correct. But I think we would both answer this question differently.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon's answer is, I think the role of Weiss content creators is to inspire. Weiss is a community-based game, so creating content needs to be focused on including others, as well as providing examples to inspire new ideas.
Yeah.
I think he's right. I definitely think that's a big chunk of the reason.
Yeah, I'd give that an A+ for sure.
And for me, the role of Weiss content creators is to... I am very... Like, one of the things that I'm very passionate about just in the way that I live my life is access. Giving people access to tools and material and information, whether that's education, whether that's just resources in general. I like democratizing access to things. And I think that and there's Brandon answering my question, Slime is the other set.
Yeah, Slime is the other set.
Yep. You see, I knew he would know.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon, the hardest working Weiss tuber for sure.
The hardest working Weiss tuber. So I lost my train of thought.
Giving people access is what you were.
Right. Yes. Thank you. So I think for me, what I like to do with Weiss 2 is help people who maybe don't have the time or don't have the resources to spend as many hours as I do scouring through cards, and watching all the deck techs and deck previews, and to give people who maybe don't have that kind of time, or maybe don't have the money to drop $500 on a meta deck, access to something, better access to the game.
Yeah.
The Clock Talk exists to be a place where people can check in every couple of weeks and get the gist of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get some thoughts that might help them compete better in the future. I like making deck techs that are more budget friendly, and Brandon does this too. Like, I love budget friendly deck techs, especially stuff that's like actually good and doesn't feel like a compromise, but is also budget friendly.
Yeah.
Because there's so many budget decks out there where it's like, yeah, you can make this for $30, but it's just a bad deck. You can't take it to locals because you'll get curb stomped.
Definitely, yeah.
But like this deck, however, that I've put the time and the hours and the practice into it. I know this works, and it's also relatively inexpensive. Here you go, run this, it'll work. So I agree 100% with Brandon saying about inspiration, giving people ideas, getting people to think about decks and cards in new and interesting ways. For me, I would like add to that it's also about giving people more access to this game. For me,
yeah.
Because I think that Weiss is fundamentally accessible. I think the fact that we have waifus on cards is an accessibility thing.
Yes.
Like, if you like Fate, you'll jump in because you want to play Saber Arena, and that's good. That in and of itself is that's an access thing. But I also know that like if you're just getting into Weiss, it can be a little daunting to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can, like, what we do. And also, I would also say that the role of Weiss content creators differs by channel. So like 3-6 Cancel, one of the things that he does so well is he introduces people to how to play and how to play well. I would say, in answering the question, what the role of Weiss content creators are, we'd be remiss to not say that 3-6 Cancel's role in this community is, at least in part, to show people how to play.
Yeah.
And, I think that, like, for Pittsburgh, one of the things that they do really, really well is their set reviews. I think their set reviews are excellent. One of the things that, like, so for them, one of their roles is to do in-depth analysis from many angles on every card as it gets released. So I think that that's one of the things that makes WeissTube work, is I don't feel like there's in a lot of card game YouTube communities, there's a ton of overlap. People like talking about the same decks, talking about the same things over and over again. It's really hard to carve out a niche. Where in Weiss, it feels like there's a little bit more everything is covered and there's not as much overlap.
Yeah.
People have their own unique identities on WeissTube. Like, one of the things that you do, I would argue that you are the streamer, for one.
Yay.
Your hangouts are excellent. Whenever there's one live, I try to jump in because they're excellent. I think you're the only person who does like these casual, like, just hangout kind of things, and I think they're awesome.
Yay.
But,
thank you. And everything else sucks. Everything else sucks but the live streams. Yay.
I also think that This Week in Weiss Schwarz is one of those things that's like, I think that's very you, especially because you're doing it for JP as well.
Yeah, I try to cover both.
And I think that's the other thing, right? Like Brandon and I are strictly English.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
We only do stuff with English. So for us, part of our role in the community is to talk about English Weiss specifically. Yeah. Other channels are going to talk a lot more about JP. And so I know that, like, once again, I'm taking a simple answer and turning it into a book report, but I think the role of Weiss content creators differs to some extent channel to channel. And I also think that experimenting and doing different things to find that niche is also a good thing. So, and that's also one of the reasons I like what you do, is you do stuff that is like the Kaguya video that you just did. Excellent, excellent, and necessary
Thank
video.
you.
Like if you haven't watched Lunchbox's video on the Kaguya and Fate SPs, please do that. It's a very, very good video. I know that this is his channel, so like plugging him on his own channel is a little bit awkward.
Yeah. Thank you for the plug.
But seriously though, like that video was very good. It answered a lot of questions. It was reasoned and intelligent speculation, which is, you know, it's so easy to speculate in wild directions. I think that your speculation was reasoned and made a lot of sense. So like stuff like that, I think that, like when I say it differs channel by channel, it can differ day to day. You know, like some days your role is to talk about this thing that you handle better than other people.
Yeah.
I think that we all have, like, this is going to sound really kumbaya, but I think we all have a part to play in making Weiss Tube work.
Oh yeah, definitely. I personally believe that like one big God, it just sounds like I'm just like stroking my own ego, but I kind of feel like I am because like I have a little too much subscribers for like what I do. At least that's what I feel. That like especially with like
the universal YouTube thing, honestly.
well, like the style. If you compare like Pittsburgh, or if you compare like shit, even your own videos or like stock swaps to like my videos, they're completely different. And I feel like one big like aspect like that I try to like make like my videos so like I guess jokey and accessible, even though I'm still like giving information, like I still want to throw in like jokes and stuff, is that I want to make like Weiss Schwarz, like the card game and the concept of Weiss Schwarz, appealing to as much people as possible. And I feel that if the video's funny or if the video's like enjoyable in some aspect, people will be like, all right, I've heard of this card game, let's see what this is, let's see what, like I heard of like people talking about Kaguya, let's watch this idiot talk about Kaguya. And like if they laugh and it's like maybe they'll check out like other like content creators. I feel like I am me, and I'd say 36 Cancel are maybe one of the most accessible Weiss Schwarz YouTubers.
I completely agree with that. You're also like, there aren't a ton of YouTubers that make jokes in Weiss. Like, it's honest. It like, this is not a knock on anyone. WeissTube isn't a very funny place.
Oh no.
And it's like, you're over here just, you know, making some crack about something, and it's good. It's good. We need that.
Yeah, I watched you weren't in the Bang Dream stream early, like what, last Sunday, were you? I streamed we were talking about just Bang Dream because it was the 6th anniversary of Bang Dream.
I don't think so, no.
There was I was going through the history of Bang Dream, like from the conception all the way to now. It was like a 3-hour stream, but in the I was talking about like the newer bands that were like introduced, not just like Poppin' Party, and I was like, in the middle of the stream, I was like, I'm pretty sure I talked about these bands in one of my videos, so I had to watch all of my old videos, the ones that I'm so ashamed of and that I unlisted, and I was watching these and I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell is this? So I'm like, I'm really cringe, like honestly, like I was like my videos back then horrific, but when I do hit 1K subs eventually, if I ever do hit 1K subs, I'm going to make a live stream where I watch all of my old videos. So difficult to watch. And so I'm glad that my editing style, I guess my tone and everything has evolved to a point where like I'm not ashamed to unlist to the point where I unlist like my current videos. Like I think my current videos now are fine. The ones back then I was like, oh my goodness, what was I doing? So
here's that is like the most universal YouTube sentiment. Like there is not a YouTuber out there who doesn't look at their old videos and go, oh gosh, I was such a pathetic little child. Please never watch these.
Bro, I was 24. What child? I was a small baby at the age of 24.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, are you gonna unlist your the clock talk, your very first one then?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's horribly cringe yet.
Not
Like
yet.
considering where we oh because here's the thing, right? Like I will look like this is the nature of growing older, right? I look back at, myself from several years ago and I go, "Oh gosh." It makes me viscerally uncomfortable. Like things I wrote, things I did, even the kind of person I was in general.
Oh yeah.
Like those things are just so cringy. 4 years ago, it's not as bad, but there's still some cringe there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, don't even like remind me. In high school, oh, dude, I thought Dickie shorts were like the coolest thing ever. in like 2009 or whatever. It's because like, all right, everybody roast me in chat. I love Blink 182, and like that early 2000s pop punk fashion, just like the thick ass Dickie shorts and the long socks. Oh, dude, I'm getting like horrible flashbacks just thinking about it. But yeah, it's. I know exactly what you mean. We just lost a viewer after I just said I love Blink 182. Shout out to the one person that left. But yeah, I know exactly I know exactly what you mean. All right.
And that's in a few years. Like I think that we just need to anticipate that this is something that I think it was CGP Grey talked about this. Like in a few years, we're gonna look back on what we're making now and cringe. It's what will happen, and the reason it happens is because as we get older and as we get better at what we do, the things that we did before to get us to the place that we are now, they're gonna be embarrassing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but we would not be here if we didn't start somewhere.
yeah, I think that I've gotten past that cringe point now. I've done I especially like not just like in in my YouTube career, quote unquote career, but also like in my music, like cuz like I have like all these old notebooks from like on when I'm in high school, and like I read it, and like a majority of it is just like war bad, like nuclear war bad, like there's no substance in this. Like this is literally nothing. Like, oh, girl doesn't like me. What am I doing? Like
Yeah.
so I personally think that it took me a while, but I've gotten past that. Like I've fixed my editing style. I'm past the music, not talking about the music. I fixed my editing style. I have like a tone for my YouTube channel. I have good equipment. Like it's not the best, but like I have good equipment. Then I finally like carved my like little like niche or my little hole in the Weiss YouTube community, for better or for worse. But I feel like I've finally gotten past all of that. Took me a while, but I finally gotten past it.
With something like YouTube, um, one of the things, so like I teach English, right? So, and one of the things that I tell my students is you will become a better writer as you become a more voracious reader.
Ah,
So like you will become, and um this is pretty common knowledge, right? Like if you read more, you will become a better writer.
yeah,
I think that the same thing goes for YouTube. I think the more YouTube you consume and the more that you are willing to differentiate between good and bad, and you know why you think something is good and bad or better and worse,
yeah,
I think you get better as a content creator. Like a lot of what I did, and this is this is the same with anything. Like I mean, I'm a little bit hesitant to call WeissTube art, but like
Oh,
with
it is. It's high
any
art.
sort of
It's high art.
oh yeah, yeah. With any sort of creative endeavor, especially 5 cards 5 minutes, which you can watch every other Thursday on the Clock Tower.
Nice plug.
Especially with anything that's a creative endeavor, um, it's all nothing. Like, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Like everything is everything is shoulders of giants. Everything is you're building off of everything is theft to a certain extent. So the more that you've seen, the more you can steal. I think. So
Yeah.
I like one of like my YouTube education on, you know, my thoughts on what does and doesn't work on YouTube and what I like and don't like in our videos comes from me sitting and watching every ContraPoints video over and over again.
Oh hell yeah!
Love Contra.
Our
Absolutely
queen
love
Contra,
it.
our queen ContraPoints.
Natalie, all hail the Lobster Queen.
Hold on. I probably, you know what? It would probably would have been a good idea if I shared this stream on Facebook. It just hit me, like it just dawned an hour into our like talk. Hey, I probably should have shared this around.
Yo, there are people here. Like, I'm. This is fun. I enjoy this.
Yeah. So someone do me a solid. Post the link of the video to the Weiss Schwarz global community on Facebook. Can someone do that for me, please? Brandon, I know you're the hardest working man in Weiss too, but can you do me this one solid? Can you help me out as well? And can you post this on the Facebook page?
Oh
He posts this in the Facebook group. Oh man!
Yeah.
All right, let's get on some of this chat. Stock Swap Games, friend of the channel, welcome to the stream. First J Cave and Lunchbox back to back. Is this the real Weiss Schwarz week? Yeah, I'd say. Oh, what did you think of Weiss Schwarz week? Were you as disappointed as me?
I'm not gonna say disappointed. I'm gonna say underwhelmed.
Yeah, that's a better word. I forget I said that. Were you as underwhelmed as me? Because it was pretty. It was understandable how they had to do it. I think the most underwhelming part for me was the sets. I'd expected not a bunch of sequel sets. Does that make sense?
So okay, like Brandon and I, we did we have talked about what we thought was the upcoming release schedule. Like the last like 3 clock talks, we've talked about this. We kind of felt like we knew what was coming. Like we knew we were going to get release dates for Kaguya and Fate. We felt confident we were going to get Slime 2. We felt confident we were going to get Alicization 2. There was no surprise we were going to get new Bang Dream stuff.
Yeah.
Like none of that came as a surprise to us. And it's I don't know. Like I feel like they could have like I think I've told you this before. I feel like we could have seen Weiss Schwarz week in like 3 days.
Yeah.
It felt like we would go a whole day, and the only thing that would happen is like we would get like, you know, the date for Fate, and it was like, okay, you know, like there just wasn't much go. It didn't feel like Weiss Schwarz week. It felt like there will be an announcement today, and then we will wait until tomorrow's announcement, kind of thing. I wish that they condensed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, like this is strictly me. I cannot speak for obviously Brandon or for anybody else, and this is probably a bad take. Even though Seven Deadly Sins is going to be a popular release and it's going to sell quite a bit, and it makes sense as an English release, like from Bushiroad's perspective.
Yeah.
I saw it and I kind of went,
So do you want me to? Okay, so I have a new video on Saturday. Do you just want me to read verbatim what I what I wrote for the Seven Deadly Sins?
Oh my god!
Because it's literally what you just said. Let's see here. Here, I just pulled it up. From a business standpoint, this is very smart. Seven Deadly Sins is very normie. Now, I say this because it is an exclusive on Netflix, and everyone has Netflix. No one who is a casual watcher of anime or a normie watcher of anime, they're not the same, is going to be loading up. They are not going to be loading up Crunchyroll or Funimation, let alone pay for it. You are going to fire up Netflix, and what do you have? Seven Deadly Sins. This is smart because this series is going to bring in more people who are fans of the series into the game. Regardless if they're planning on buying the game, Bushiroad is still going to have their money. That's pretty much what I said.
It makes sense from Bushiroad's perspective.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
It's an easy series to sell. People will buy it because there are a lot of Seven Deadly Sins fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a series I cared at all about. In fact, I honestly didn't like it.
Same here.
And that's not a crap on anybody who liked it. If you like it, my idea of fun is watching like Yuru Camp.
Would you get a Eurocamp set?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Like the sets that I wanted were like like if I could have anything I wanted, like I wanted Kobayashi, I wanted like a Dragon Maid, I
Yeah.
wanted Zombieland Saga. It would have been
Oh,
super
dude,
fun.
please! Ah! I'd love a Zombieland Saga set. That'd be so good.
Zombieland Saga. We stan Queen Lily. We stan a queen.
Which one's
Um,
Lily's the one that
the,
died in the
the,
plane crash, right? Hold up.
the tiny one, the short one with the blue hair.
Dude, I'm drawing a huge blank on the. Wait, who's the Yankee? Who's the Yankee? What's her name? Oh man, Mappa. Please forgive me. I don't remember her name. Is it Saki? Saki Nikaido.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saki.
Saki's great. Saki,
All right.
like, the whole show is great. Zombieland
Oh, it's
Saga
so
is
good.
Zombieland is a lot like Review Starlight in that it's so good and no one watched it.
I have not checked out Review Starlight yet either. But
Oh my
no, I know you told me like last streams like, hey, check it out, and I was like, I totally will, and I just didn't.
Okay, so Love Live, I watched. So Love Live School Idol Project, right?
Yeah.
I pull up season 2. I pull up season 2. I watch episode 1, and it starts with a musical number.
Hell yeah.
And I went, oh my gosh, is this season going to be a musical? Oh, please let this, or at the very least, let this episode be a musical. I want a musical. And then it didn't happen. It was just the opening musical number.
Yeah.
And then they went into the normal series. And I was like, that's a little disappointing. Review Starlight scratched my anime musical itch.
And I didn't even know that was an itch to have, anime musical.
Oh man, it is an itch.
Because I know Review Starlight is like they're stage performers. So when you get something like K-On! Or like Bang Dream, is that not like the same as Review Starlight?
Review Starlight has songs in every episode that are set to battle sequences.
Okay. So wait, so it's so when you say musical, I'd expected it to be like, you know how like in movies where the characters just break out in a song.
It's a lot more like that and a lot less like, okay, it's weird because so like in something like a Love Live or a Bang Dream, there will be a song, right? There will be a song every episode or two.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the characters get up and they sing, and that's great. But it's an in-show performance.
Ah.
Right? In Review Starlight, it's kind of an in-show performance, but it feels a lot more like a musical. It feels a lot more like the characters are singing while they're doing something.
Ah, yeah.
And it's strictly based on feel. Like in terms of plot, it's technically kind of a performance, but it's also kind of not. I'm not going to go into further detail because I do not want to spoil it. You really do need to watch the show. It's only 12 episodes.
Okay. I'll tell my girlfriend to heat up the popcorn.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
I love it so much. But yeah, so like the Review Starlight definitely it's the closest thing we have to like a proper anime musical, I think. But like so like Zombieland Saga is kind of in that same vein where it's like it's different and the people who have watched it love it, but not enough people have watched it.
I absolutely loved it. One of my me and a couple dudes in my regular Weiss Schwarz group, shout out to the cats at AMA Collectibles. They love it. Oh, it's so good. I love it so much. Let's read more. No, go ahead.
At some point, I'm gonna get Review Starlight. I'm gonna get the cards and I'm gonna build as much of it as I can because I just love it. It's not competitive. I don't really care. I just want to build all of the decks with all those girls.
Just remember, we did not get the app set. We did not get the game set in English.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anime Sky said Rental has a Burn 79 event. Yes, it does. It's the 1-1 event, the Ruka one. You burn 79, and then you do a thing. I forgot what it was.
That is insane.
Joseph Reyes said, meta, what is that exactly? We don't believe. Leave the meta at the door, please. Brandon said Slime is the other set. That is true. When is Weiss Schwarz the 7 Deadly Sins set released? It's releasing next week. You better get on that, Fallen Lord, immediately before everything sells out.
Wow.
It's not. Oh yeah, Brandon says July. Yeah, it's. I don't think we have a release date yet, right?
We don't have. I think we have a release month. I don't think we have a date.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Maybe
no
I
date.
don't know.
July is a decently long month though.
It's one of the longest ones.
Yeah. Stock Swap Game said, "What's my age again?" It's probably reference to the Blink 182. What's your favorite type of Weiss content to consume? Huh. That's a good question, Brandon Smith. From the Clock Tower.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I wonder who that is. So what okay, for you, Colton, what's your favorite kind of Weiss content to consume? Because we talked about like your other YouTube habits, and really I'm on YouTube all the time, but what specifically, like what Weiss Schwarz content like do you, is there anyone you want to shout out, or like specifically like other card game creators? Like what do you see? Like what do you seek out for?
Okay, well, when it comes to Weiss specifically, I like conversation.
Mm.
And by conversation, I don't necessarily mean two or more people talking. I mean stuff that is stuff that is more informative, or asking questions, or trying to probe through something that's going on in the meta, or like what might be coming up. So like what you have with the Kage video, for example, that's the kind of stuff I love, because it deals with something that's going on very directly, and it offers interesting commentary. I suppose commentary is probably the better word than conversation. I like commentary quite a bit. So, and I think that when there are a lot of microphones on, it can get a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I do like it when you have anywhere from 1 to 4 talking about like what's good, what's not good, and why, how it interacts with other things like that. I like that kind of thing. I also like topical deep dives, like what 36 Cancel does.
Oh yeah.
Where it feels like he's talking about a specific idea. I really liked the video that he recently did on card balance. I really liked that. Basically, because one of the things that makes Weiss unique is that all the cards are technically balanced.
Yeah.
Like there technically isn't a card that is better or worse than another. There is in a practical sense, but R&D, the folks who actually make the Weiss cards, they try to balance each card to some extent around the vanilla fulcrum. And I thought that the way that 36 Cancel talked about that, I thought was really, really helpful, and it conceptualized a concept really well. Yeah. So I like stuff like that. I like stuff that's off the beaten path a little bit. So another reason why I like your stuff is because like you talk about things that are a little bit different. Like I like deck techs, I like set reviews, but those can get a little tedious after a minute.
Yeah.
When there's just a lot of them over and over and over again. So I like stuff that's a little more commentary based.
Yeah.
As far as other games, I don't play much Magic, but I spend an inordinate amount of time on Magic Tube. I like stuff that's just off the wall.
What's the Tolarian Community College?
I love TCC.
Oh yeah, I love his content so much. I don't even play Magic the Gathering. I'm just like, land or whatever. Great. I don't know. So he's good.
He released the video. He released a video talking about the new Time Spiral set, and he was happy. It made me so happy to see him actually like a Wizards product. It's been a while. He's had a lot of gripes with them, so it made me happy to see him like actually like something that a decision that Wizards made.
Also, but shout out to 36 Cancel. Possibly always. The hard. Okay, Brandon, the second hardest working person in WeissTube. 36 Cancel, the hardest working person in WeissTube for sure.
They can both be the hardest working person in WeissTube.
All right, they're in a tie. They're in a tie.
So, the other Magic channels that I really like Spice 8 Rack.
I don't know that one.
You should look him up. He's super fun. He does some stuff that's a little off the wall. He did a thing where he wanted to know why. He basically did he talked about Magic flavor in the context of why does a 2/2 pig beat a 1/1 soldier? He's like, that makes sense. So he went into a deep dive about how Magic's power and toughness mechanics work in context of flavor, and it was really fun. It was really good. So highly recommend him. He does a lot of fun stuff. He also does stuff that's like off the wall about other things. He did a really great video about proxying.
Oh yeah,
And like,
I'm looking at that one. Why proxying is good and cool, actually.
yes, proxying is good and cool, and we need proxying because going back to all access, it democratizes access to cards.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of proxying. Proxying is good. But yeah, so love his channel. I also love MTG Remy. He does little magic skits, like literally like these 1 minute little magic skits. Hilarious, brilliant, so good. He also does these song parodies for Magic. It's excellent stuff. I have no idea how he isn't like one of the biggest Magic tubers. He's so good. Definitely worth checking out if you like Magic at all. If you like card games at all.
All right, I'll add another of that to the watch later pile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super fun. So, what about you? What's your favorite type of voice content?
God, I was hoping you were I was hoping you were gonna gloss over me. I really like.
I'm a good guest. I try to throw questions back and not dominate. Even though I definitely.
This is a. Is this a podcast? Whatever. It's okay. I like. Shit. Okay. I have a podcast where I talk about music. I don't want to start another podcast where I talk about Weiss Schwarz, but whatever. I guess this is the first episode of the podcast or whatever. But I really like Ore pack openings. Or Ori pack openings. You know,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. It's just I like seeing just like people putting money in a vending machine, cranking like the thing and just like opening a card and not getting anything good. I don't know. I'm just into that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, I get that. As someone who doesn't crack packs very often, it's fun to like watch other people vicariously crack packs for me.
Yeah. I would say this. There are a lot. All right. This is the part that's gonna get me canceled. There's a lot of awful pack opening YouTubers that I do not like. Well, especially when they open up Weiss Schwarz. Okay, this is like a video in itself. That again, please nobody clip this because I'm totally gonna get canceled. It's like it bothers me so much when people are like, all right, here's a card game that I never heard of. I do not know the property. I'm gonna mispronounce everything, like every single card. I'm just gonna mention how hot the girls are, and I'm just gonna open these and not even care. And they like get the double rares, and it's like maybe like a $20 double rare, and it's like, oh no, is this card good? Oh whatever, like this girl's cute. It, like, I don't know. I see that a lot, not in Weiss Schwarz YouTubers, but people that are just opening Weiss Schwarz stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't know. That's just, it's so annoying. And there's this, I won't say names, but Stock Swap Games, if you're watching, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Oh shit, I think he just named him. But yeah, I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're just like opening. You don't even care. Like, I don't know. I feel like a gatekeeper. Edward White said cancel for gatekeeping.
And here's one of those things, right? Like, it annoys me when PewDiePie just buys boxes on boxes of boxes of Pokemon, and just to try to pull, the rare Charizard or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff annoys me because people like him are making it hard for people who care about the game to get cards.
Oh, 100%, definitely.
Like that irritates me. As far as like if you want to open a Weiss box out of curiosity, like that doesn't bother me That doesn't really bother me. But I think that there's, I could see how it can get irritating. Like, if you didn't try to put any effort in to figure out what's going on, then it's just like, why are you opening this? It feels kind of weird. Someone who does put in the effort that I really like is Kodak on YouTube, KOHDOK. He is a card game YouTuber. He likes talking about things like defunct card games, card game like mechanics and theory, and like he has a really great series called The 7 Deadly Sins of Trading Card Game Design. Basically talking about he talks about like the ins and outs of like how card games work. And he will review card games. Like, he will open up boxes of card games and talk about their mechanics and stuff. That's really cool to me. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. 7 Deadly Board Game. I have heard of this guy.
Yeah, excellent series. Excellent series, worth watching.
Oh man. Is there a Weiss Schwarz YouTube channel that's dedicated only to opening? Like opening products? I don't think so.
I don't think so. There was one that you mentioned last week when we were on stream together. It's a couple.
Oh, that new card smell.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Do they only do openings? I think
they only do openings, but they do a lot more than just Weiss Schwarz. They do Weiss Schwarz, yeah, but they do like Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon, stuff like that. I'm talking just only 100% Weiss Schwarz. I don't think that's a viable YouTube channel because Weiss Schwarz isn't like, okay, if you're opening up for English, you're maybe getting like a video, like maybe 1 or 2, like maybe a month, maybe at most. If you're doing JP, oh my god, that is so expensive, and you're not guaranteed those items or the booster boxes on release date. So maybe that's like it's understandable. Like there's a lot of Japanese YouTubers that just open up like Weiss Schwarz stuff, which makes sense. They get a lot more stuff, like a whole lot sooner. Plus they have like the Ori packs and stuff that I'm a simp for. But can I say that on YouTube? I feel like, no, that's on Twitch. Never mind. But now I gotta double check. Am I streaming on Twitch? No, I'm not. Okay, good. But yeah. So I don't think having a Weiss Schwarz opening, like only opening Weiss Schwarz, is that's why like I do one maybe once every 2 months. Like I do an unboxing because it's like a lot of the sets like I am cool with, but I'd rather just like buy a playset, maybe just pick up the single cards.
Yeah, I'm definitely a playset buyer. Like, and for me, it's I live on a budget, so for me, cracking packs is just not an effective way for me to.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I've got like one of the guys who plays at my locals is gonna get a case of Fate, and I'm like, I will buy a playset off of you, and he's like, sold. I will sell you a playset.
Wow.
Because I just don't. I like SPs. Don't get me wrong, but it's not worth it to me to chase.
Oh yeah, it's
like
not,
the only.
It's not for me.
I have only spent up on a card to like buy the upgraded version, or Apocrypha, or the Astolfo early play.
Oh, yeah.
Because so I went from double R to SR. I think it's double R to SR because it was like a $7 jump. So I spent an extra like $25-$30 to get the SRs, which I like so much better. Mm-hmm. Especially because Astolfo's my boy. Like you were saying earlier, like if there's an anime profile picture for me, it's Astolfo.
Okay. I'll when you come back on the stream, I'll change the picture for you. Stockswap Games ask, do you flex more subs than your students? What? At your students? What?
Absolutely. I mentioned I'm an English teacher. I think that's what he's referring to.
Yeah. I'm trying to make sense. Like, do you flex more subs than your students? At your students? Like, do you flex that you? Oh, yeah. How did it feel that you had more subscribers than the Weiss Schwarz official Weiss Schwarz YouTube channel for like a couple days? How'd that feel?
How many do they have now?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
So to answer Stockswap's question, do I flex more subs than my students at my students? No, they don't care.
They don't care. Ungrateful. Oh, they're at 436. They're at 436.
I've got a YouTube channel where I have 300 subs. They're like, I have more followers than that on MySpace. Like, my students have I've got a student. I volunteer with a high school group around here, and one of my high schoolers last year had like a TikTok that went viral and got like 1 million views. So
Jesus Christ!
Absolutely no. There's no clout here. They also aren't on YouTube. Like
they'll be like,
okay, they're not on YouTube as much as like we are.
Yeah, they'll probably say like, "Hey, sit down, old man." Who cares?
Oh yeah, no. Oh, I am already falling behind on social media. Like I like Twitter. I like YouTube. I like Reddit. Like those are the places where I hang out.
Oh
And
yeah.
like my students are already like, what's Discord? Like they're moving on from that stuff. It's
Dude, stop.
insane.
Not what's Discord. I
I've
literally.
gotten what's Discord multiple times. I
Oh
think
my
that one's a
goodness.
little bit like Gen Z. Gen Z is wild, man. They
Damn.
are they're on so many things that like it feels like there's a new one all the time. Like I feel like it moves so fast.
So all right, so
And like
we got to start making
yeah,
TikTok content.
absolutely not.
I what? But
I draw the line. Nope.
no TikTok. All right.
Sometimes you
How,
have to settle into just being an old person.
how about I make you the TikTok account? I'm gonna register. I'm gonna register for the clock tower right now, and you just upload it. You just
Oh my
upload
God.
stuff on it. I don't want to be the TikTok guy for Weiss Schwarz though.
I don't think Weiss needs a TikTok guy.
Oh, I think we do. We cannot be like, oh, we got to make the game accessible. We got to bring more peoples in and not make a TikTok. Okay, I'm just going to pick a random person in chat. Hold on, I'm scrolling up really fast. This person. Edward White. Friend of the channel, Edward White. You're in charge of the Weiss Schwarz TikTok. Congratulations. You
Man,
did it.
I don't even know.
Congratulations.
Who in the community would be like the good Weiss TikToker? I don't even know.
Edward White. He's in charge of it right now. I already appointed him.
All right, Edward.
It's
Best of
official.
luck.
Yeah, we have spoken. Good luck. Okay, I just know we lost one viewer. It was probably Edward White. He's on his way to make the TikTok right now.
Yeah, exactly. No, we just lost someone who's on their way to TikTok. That's fine.
Edward, Anime Sky said, at Edward White, congrats. Congratulations. Let's see here. I got you covered on global. Thank you, Ted Turtle. Yuru Camp set. Yo, man, a lot of people agree on Yuru Camp. A Dark Gamer said, Colton, you have great taste.
I'm glad someone thinks so.
I think so too.
My students don't get it. I've got a handful of those high school students. They watch anime and so they got into anime mostly during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like they're watching like Attack on Titan and Hunter x Hunter and like the shonen stuff. They like shonen. They're high school boys. They like shonen. That's fine.
Netflix stuff. The stuff that's on Netflix. Isn't Hunter x Hunter on Netflix?
Right.
I think Hunter x Hunter.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yes,
there you go.
is.
Seven
And
Deadly
they're
Sins.
And they're like, what do you watch? And I'm like, you won't understand. You will not understand my love for Clannad. You just won't get it. I'm sorry. Like,
Yo, dude, Clan is great.
it's so good. It's so good. But it's like
it's amazing.
a family drama about a family drama about a young man who falls in love with a young woman and they get married and have a kid is just not.
It's not teenage.
Like,
not
not
teenage boy
really.
stuff.
No, it's not. It's not really. It's so good, but they don't like. Trying to explain to them that I watch Nichijou and like explain to them why Nichijou is the funniest thing in the world is just not.
I've actually met people who do not like Nichijou.
Here's the thing, I can see that though. It's
What? I was
Yeah,
upset.
like-
I was upset. We were me and my girlfriend, her friends. They always had a Friday night anime nights where we go to their house, their big ass house, and it's like 10 people, big screen TV. We just watch anime. And we all vote. It's kind of like an anime club thing, but with a bunch of idiots. And I was like, hey, let's watch Nichijou. It was amazing. It's a super great time. We were like, hey, let's watch Nichijou. I was the only one laughing. And I was like, are you guys kidding me? This is gold. This is pure comedy.
Yeah, no, I will watch Nichijou and I laughed so hard. I had surgery a couple of years ago and I was like, I should, and I threatened to do this, but I never did. I was like, I should, while I'm still like kind of on the drugs, like after I wake up, I should just watch Nichijou and see what that's like. Like, I cannot imagine watching Nichijou while high. I cannot imagine it. It would be the most surreal experience.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's a great show.
Yeah, everyone's watching.
I haven't seen anything by KyoAni that I haven't loved, though, to be fair.
Oh, definitely.
KyoAni's my favorite studio. But yeah, no, I appreciate you, Dark Gamer, for saying I have great taste. I think my taste is great, but
in my opinion, my taste is great. Audrey Sampson said, "Review Starlight's totally worth getting. Fun to play in English and very serviceable if you get the JP Relive release."
I'm gonna get Review Starlight in English at some point because it's fun and I love it. So yeah, and it's oh my gosh, it's such a good show. I recommend Review Starlight to the people in my life who are like, I don't understand the whole anime thing. I'm like, just watch Review Starlight.
All right,
Like it's not really like the rest of anime, but it's really good, and I think you'll appreciate it at least.
All right.
So
Edward White, the idea that all Weiss cards are balanced is like thinking you can enjoy eating raw eggs in a bowl of flour as much as you can eating a cake.
There's
watch 3-6 cancels video.
And that's the thing. Like I don't want to. I should clarify. When I say that the cards are balanced, I don't mean that they're all equal in terms of how good they are.
Oh yeah.
They are mechanically balanced around a fulcrum. They all have good things and bad things. R&D values some of the good things and the bad things in ways that are not equalizing, and that is why cards get better over time. Because the stuff that's bad. So like for example, like I play the 2-1 Union combo in Konosuba because I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's an on reverse effect that lets you top check 4 and add any characters there to hand. The cost on that ability is moving the climax from field to waiting room. That is it's a negative because you can't do that. You can't do that more than once.
Yeah.
But it's a positive because it means I can send the climax to waiting room before refresh. So like cards more and more are having negatives that either aren't negatives like that, which is really not a negative, or the negative is something so small or niche that it isn't really a negative.
Yeah.
So like they're finding ways to get around that fulcrum, but the fact that they're still tied to the fulcrum means that they can't make cards. There's a limit on how insanely powerful they can make an individual card.
Yeah.
So they can make interactions that are really powerful, and we're going to see that with Data Live. But because like 2/2s that you can play for free because of standby aren't really 2/2s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that all cards are balanced. Like some cards are clearly better than others. That's why nobody plays vanillas, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is that each card has these positives and negatives that, in theory, are supposed to balance each other around a fulcrum. Definitely worth watching 3-6 Cancel's video on the topic. Like, he explains it far better than I am. It's really, really, really good.
Yeah, we stand 3-6 Cancel in this video. He comes in the stream every now and then, too.
I know he does. He's
yeah, I get really nervous when he does. I'm like, don't say anything stupid.
I know, right? I feel that pressure. I got some. Whenever I draw someone who's really good in the TCG tournaments that I usually play in on Thursdays.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm playing against someone who went to Worlds. This is anxiety inducing. Don't mess up.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid.
I don't have to win. I just have to like not make a fool of myself.
Oh, I went to a tournament, like literally the last tournament I ever went to. I was playing this one dude, and at the end of the match, he was like, "Hey, I really like your videos," and I was like, "Please no." Yep. I made a fool of. I can't even remember what deck I was playing. Oh, I was playing fucking Subaru, and I was like, "Well, thanks."
Yep, that's the whole thing.
Joseph Reeves said, "Damn, way to kill my Weiss pack opening channel idea." LOL, JK. You think? Edward Wright said, "Cancel for gatekeeping." Rip 2021. Yeah, 2022 is my year. There's a couple of Vanguard YouTubers that do that now. I think that was in reference to opening up Pokemon packs. Everyone's opening a Pokemon now. Mm-hmm. And oh man, don't tell me there's gatekeeping here. Jamie Chris VA, no, we are not gatekeeping. Vanguard Tubing has a whole channel dedicated to proxy testing. Oh, nice. Gahachianaru, only focusing on deck building. That's the one with the deer face. Yo, can I skip the final if I beat you in Weiss? Edward White, congratulations. TikTok Discovery See, oh look, winning image. TikTok discoverability is definitely top tier though. Ted Turtle said put Dr. Weiss in charge of TikTok. Oh, Dr. Weiss is he's a damn good channel. Damn good channel. I had to scroll back to see what I won. I'm all over it. Jen's TikTok account already has 300 followers. Nice. Good job,
Hey,
Edward.
Right? The future of Weiss on TikTok depends on you. No pressure.
Yes. Yeah, no pressure at all. But our entire livelihoods.
Right.
Oh, Ted Turtle said, no, there's Vanguard channels opening Weiss Schwarz cards. Oh.
Interesting.
Oh.
It makes sense.
Both owned by Bushiroad.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Do they mispronounce all the names? Edward White, I was born for this. Thank goodness. You need pressure to make diamonds. Hell yeah.
I like that. I like it.
All right. I think we are almost we are up to 2 hours right now. So all right, one final question and we'll call it. What's coming up on the channel? Like where do you see the channel going? What's coming up? Like what's coming up? Video wise. If you want to say like any other series. I know you already mentioned the in July you're going to be doing that. But what else is coming along?
So next month, Brandon's Data Live deck drops. Brandon's Data Live is the scariest Data Live that I've seen. So Data Live is already scary. I think that Brandon's is the one that I am most scared to play into.
Oh,
so that's gonna drop next month. So that's gonna be interesting. I really hope that people don't watch that video. Because I don't want to play into his deck over and over again.
Oh no. Then I would say don't plug that. Don't plug that in. Because Brandon's Adventure Time deck is really good. It's really good. He's super good at deck building.
Brandon's very, very good at making the best pieces synergize together. So the tick tower. Oh gosh.
The tick clock. The tick clock. Yeah, the tick tower.
At clock talk. TOK.
Oh man, that's good. Now I'm gonna watch since I'm buying a playset. Oh, there you go. It's not that scary. Oh come on, you made it, Brandon. Of course, it's not scary to you.
Brandon's Data Live is good. So looking forward to talking about Data Live a lot next month and then we're gonna do 5 cards 5 minutes on Data Live as well. The following month we're going to. So we didn't do anything for the first Magia record set.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything for the first Magia record set because of what's coming out in April, because there's gonna be another one.
Yeah, there's gonna be the anime set. Yeah.
Yeah. So in April we're gonna do all of the Magia record 5 cards 5 minutes, as well as Brandon's Magia record deck. I released my Cancel Burn Shot Trigger Magia record deck earlier this week.
Yeah.
So that's up, and we're gonna have gameplay for that. I think it should be live now, actually. There should be gameplay for.
Let's see here.
Because today is Thursday, so we recorded this yesterday.
Nope.
So we also recorded a bunch of stuff to get. Okay, it's not up yet.
Yeah, it's not
up yet. Brandon's probably still putting the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, he's in chat right now. He's.
Honestly, he's probably editing it while he's listening to this. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I just hope he's not screaming at us like no, you idiots.
No, so we have Magia. We're gonna talk about Magia record stuff in April. It's not edited yet. Thanks for the update, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
No, Brandon's got kids, so he has an actual life. So
he can't be doing YouTube full time.
No, unfortunately, and between me working and being in school, Brandon working and having a family, it's not always easy to get all of the stuff done. So, thank you, Brandon, hardest working man in Weiss. Hardest working man in Weiss too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Beaufree in May. Okay, listen. Brandon says Beaufry is actually terrifying in chat. Can confirm. Brandon's got a Beaufry list that is insanely good.
Oh,
I'm super excited for people to see this. It's going to be very, very fun.
when is Bofuri coming out? That's coming out
May.
in May, right? Yeah, I'm looking it up
Also,
right now.
good show. Dang good show.
Oh yeah, I Bofuri's great. I was going to
Yeah.
buy into JP, but then I was like, nah, let me hold off for a little bit.
Yeah,
Let me
no,
just
Beaufry's fun. And the deck is good. Like I could totally see myself buying Brandon's deck. I don't think it's going to be like I don't think it's going to be like the primary Beaufry build. He's doing something that's a little bit off quote unquote meta, but it's wild. It's very good. I've played into it multiple times, and it's legitimately scary to play into. So terrifying in Swiss. You don't want to play into this in Swiss.
All right.
Super looking forward to that coming out in May.
Everybody, go subscribe to the Clock Tower right now if you want to, so you can get updated on these lists.
So that's coming out in May. I keep talking about Brandon's because Brandon releases a list with every new deck with every new set that comes out. He releases a deck. Me, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm releasing next month. Zero clue. I never. What I do is I get way into a set and I just like go at it forever, to the point where I just know the set inside and out. And that's what I did with Konosuba. I did four Konosuba decks for the Clock Tower because I just got obsessed with Konosuba. And even the worst part is the two Konosuba decks that I currently have built and running, I didn't even get a chance to profile them on the channel.
Oh.
Because I promised the channel that I would stop talking about Konosuba.
Oh,
so
damn.
I'm gonna hold myself to that promise because I've talked about Konosuba way too much. So I don't know what I'm making, but we know what Brandon's making. What Brandon's making is worth subscribing.
Damn. Okay, so now it's time for the part of the show where I praise you. Well, both of you. Well, pretend Brandon's in chat and he's not editing the video, so he could listen. What I really like, what I really like about you guys is that just how fucking smart the both of you are. Like your Clock Talks are they're so much fun to listen to. Like when I'm editing a video or like when I'm like playing a video game or something, like I always throw it on. Even like when like if I'm driving or something and I'm like, oh, I don't want to listen to music, I throw a Clock Talk on. You two are like genuinely like the nicest people like on this platform, and like your content is so well done. On top of that, it's like I have a running joke like on my channel where I talk about like PowerPoint videos, and that's not, you guys aren't like that, and I really do like that, and I think that we need more content creators that are insightful and have some sort of production value, and I think that you two are like a prime example of that, and you guys are so fucking good at this game. Like it's insane.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. You're definitely one of the reasons that our channel has grown as much as it has. You've been so nice to plug us and to do collabs with us, and that's been super awesome. And we definitely feel the same way about you. Like we really admire the stuff that you make. You're a super nice guy.
Yay.
Like we definitely try to plug casually Weiss Schwarz whenever we can on our channel because your stuff is excellent, and like I love doing collab stuff like this. So I'm hoping that we can do more of this in the future.
Yeah, this was fun.
Also, real quick, because I noticed it in chat, Edward White, more Mob Psycho decks, please. If you haven't seen Brandon's mob deck, Brandon also made a mob deck. It's on the channel, worth checking out. It's a very, very good deck.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot one thing. All of your, I think what's cool is that all of your videos as well are extremely current. Like, yeah, you talk about news and stuff, but just like not the extra videos. Like you did a video on Frozen Bond. You did the 5 cards 5 minutes. You did the deck profile. You like everything is so current.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's really, really like important, especially for like newer players coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Like they see like, oh, I could buy this right now. All right, here's content pertaining to what I could purchase right now. It's not like where I make a video talking about like Lucky Stars. Like, where the hell are you gonna buy a Lucky Star set? Like, where are you gonna get a Lucky Star?
That's something that I think that Weiss Tube does well in general, is talking about the stuff that's new. Um, so in general, like especially Pittsburgh, like Pittsburgh will drop deck techs and they do set reviews and stuff like that, and I really appreciate what they do.
Yeah.
But so we're trying to, especially with like yeah, Brandon is the one who wants to build something new with every set. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that he does that, because I think that really helps keep the channel current. We also, like, 5 cards 5 minutes is a way for us to intentionally talk about new things, because we want to talk about the new stuff,
Yeah.
because that's interesting to most people, right? That's why that's why I'm moving on from talking about Konosuba as much on the channel, because we need to move on. It's time to talk about things that are more relevant, which is why the last deck tech was Magia Record. So
Konosuba's so
that's
good though.
what's that?
Konosuba's so good though.
You want to know the worst part?
What?
I love Konosuba. I love the show. I love building it. I love playing it. I'm not as convinced that Konosuba is as good in the meta anymore as other people.
Oh. You think it's finally time for it to move on? Make room for Data Live?
I think so. Here's the thing: the meta now is Data Live and whatever you can play against Data Live with.
Yeah.
That's the meta, right? Data Live is far and away the best set. Everyone agrees on this. Just about everyone agrees on this.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what can play in Data Live? The next tier, and like Brandon and I did a video on this where we talked about, what's in the top 5 for decks right now. What are the decks that are, going to be the most relevant? We talked about this, and one of the things that we talked about was, at the time we were like, yeah, it's Konosuba and Fate. That's the general consensus. It's Konosuba and Fate. But the more that I've played Konosuba, the more I've thought about it. The meta Konosuba build as it currently sits, either of them, either the old one with the Bunny Girl into the Megumin Burn 4, or the new one, which is the Oboro into the Rest Clock Kick with the burns.
Yeah.
Neither of those play nicely into Data Live, because those level 1 combos just don't get advantage in that matchup.
Ah. Yeah.
Bunny Girl can't get reverses on standby targets. Not consistently. The Oboro can side into the standby targets because it has the pay 1 twin drive, but because there's so much blink and there's so much removal, Data Live can get rid of your entire front row, or at the very least get rid of the quality on it that lets you bounce them back into hand.
Yeah.
So I think both of Konosuba's primary red combos at level 1 die really hard to Data Live.
Ah, yeah, I feel you.
So it's really hard to get card advantage on Data Live, and it's hard to get reverses on Data Live. So I think that the main Konosuba deck is not going to do that well against Data Live for that reason. However, I think that there is a Konosuba deck that can play into Data Live and potentially do well in the meta. And I think it's based around the 2-1 Union that comes in as an early play that you combo with that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. Because, and what you do is, so this is the deck that I played last time I was here.
Yeah.
It has those Komikos in the back row that give you a ton of power when you get a reverse. You crash with a bomb, and the Komikos give power to your Union so you can kill another level 1 standby target. Those two right there, just those 2 cards, the bomb that kills, because it's a level bomb and it kills the level 1 standby target.
Yeah.
And then it gives the power to the Union, which now swings in at 9 with no help. It can swing it at 11 if you get a reverse in the other lane against the thing that's probably not the standby target.
Ah,
Now
yeah.
suddenly you've cleared Data Live's board, gotten your combo off, and you've gotten your pluses. And then you can carry on. Because the way to beat Data Live is going to be denying its advantage on board. Because Data Live's advantage comes from getting stuff on board and keeping it there. If you can't reverse those 1/1s, they're just going to stay there. You need to force them to use Hand Encore to keep those 1/1s on board.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it doesn't have a plussing combo at level 1 unless you're playing the choice trigger. If you're playing the choice combo, they have a plussing combo at level 1, so they can keep up hand a lot better. But then they aren't gaining, then they aren't just crushing board as much with being oversized. So you don't have to. So then it becomes a lot more of a normal game. That's not as standby based. But if you're playing into 8 standby, which most people seem to be playing, then you're gonna need to find a way to mitigate that advantage by killing level 1s.
Yeah.
By killing standby targets. And that's also why there's the 2/1 Megamine. There's a 2/1 Megamine. It's a 2 soul. It's only 4,000 power, but it's a level 2 killer.
Yeah, I think you dropped that on the last time we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
you did.
It crashes into those 2/2s, kills one of those, and not only does it give power when it has the Komokos in the back to give power to something else, it also gives something X times 5 when it just attacks. So you can literally crash it into a 2/2, give something else 4,000 power, and that can help you get over another 2/2 in a different lane. So that deck can counter Data Live pretty solidly. That's the only thing I found in Konosuba that really counters it hard. I see the conversation in the chat about Darkness. I love the Darkness deck. Love it, love it, love it. I love that the level 1 combo doesn't care. Right? The level 1 combo just does what it does. It doesn't really care about Data Live.
Yeah.
Standby. It gets big enough that it can reverse in most lanes. It honestly, especially if you run the Takitsubo in the back, it can get over standby targets. Because it has, it has power pieces. So I love that. The only thing that makes me think that Data Live has a better... The only thing that makes me think that Data Live has the advantage in that matchup is the level 3 game. Data Live can close from 3-0. Darkness really struggles to close from 3-0.
Yeah.
Because it only has cancel burn.
Yeah.
So swinging, you can swing 3 times. If you swing 3 times with Darkness combo, then you can close if you hit in 2 of those 3 lanes, and then get a cancel on the 3rd lane, and get your cancel burn sticks. So it's doable, but if there are 2 cancels in the top 7 cards, you're not closing. Whereas with Data Live, it has so much more burn because it can shuffle things back into the deck. It has the stock swap on it. It has just the burn 3 in general. So I think Data Live closes a little bit better from 3-0 than Darkness, and I think that's the difference. But yeah, I do think that Darkness is solid. I know Darkness plays into Data Live well until level 3, I think. So I don't know if that's well enough to be a meta consideration, but it's certainly good. It's certainly good. I played it at our locals last week, and I played and I topped. It's solid. I really like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably gonna have to change some things around in my Darkness deck.
The Darkness, honestly, the card in the Darkness deck that the more I've played it, the more that I've played the Darkness deck, the more I like that 3/2 Darkness that has Hexproof and has the Reflect. Pay 2, pitch 1 reflex damage that was taken. So if you swing into that 3/2 Darkness.
Yeah, you're taking the set 1 Darkness. Set 1 Darkness.
Yes. The $25 Darkness.
Yes. I got him when they were $5, but yes.
That's a dub.
I had the foresight of buying those.
That's awesome. Yeah, so when someone swings into you when you have one of those down, if that damage sticks, you can do that damage right back by paying 2 and pitching 1, which is really solid on defense. Like that can help you close, especially if you're in a matchup against early plays. If you're in a matchup where you're playing against something that throws on an early play, because the early play condition on the darkness is your opponent has a level 3 or higher character.
Yeah.
So, I think so. Like that, if you're going to play into Data Live with darkness, I think that darkness is your ticket because you can do reflect damage. But like again, I think if a Data Live player is playing into darkness, I think they will probably be aware that they don't want that darkness on field, so they won't stand by in their 3/2s.
Yeah.
They won't. They won't try to stand by in level 3 to keep so that they can keep you from playing those, so that they can close you out without you getting a chance to play that reflect darkness. So
damn.
Brandon just screams into the void. Everything gets affected when Data Live enters the scene.
I knew he was screaming at us.
The meta warps around Data Live. It will warp around Data Live. Data Live is a black hole that will change the very fabric of the meta.
I'm saying that there will be a ban list.
I don't know, and I don't know if I want one. Honestly, that's the hard part. Because I hate ban lists with a fiery passion.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta ban some stuff.
Oh man, I just wish that they wouldn't print. I just wish they wouldn't print it.
I mean,
I just wish the Shido event was 1/1. I wish the Shido event was a 1/1 event. Jacob Hollage pre-order Data Live for his first set. Good job, Jacob.
Yeah,
good job.
Great job.
You're part of the problem, Jacob.
You are banned.
You bought a good set. You're buying into a good set, and you're gonna have a lot of success and a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Silent Song. 8-door build from Fate. Brandon and I were actually playing this. We were actually playing Red Fate earlier today in preparation for the Grail War stuff. I like it. I like 8-door Fate. Like we're talking about Red with the
Heaven's Feel?
The read combos, right?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Actually, it's super fun. It moves really fast. Not to completely change topics. Like I know we did.
The gate is the 1-0 Rin, right?
Are we so when we say door, are we talking about blue, or are we talking about red?
Did it say gate?
Because
wait, what does he say? 8-door?
8-door. So I think
Are we talking about red? Are we talking about red?
Yeah, door is salvage, right?
Yeah, the door, or is okay? That's the official words, right? Door.
I don't think door is official. I think that we just adopted door.
From what?
Oh god, when people say anything is a gate, it's like, okay, which gate are you talking about? Blue gate or red gate?
I always associate the gate with the comeback. Wait, comeback is it's comeback. The official term is comeback with the red.
Right.
That's comeback.
Yeah.
Okay, so gate, blue.
Yeah. So
we'll fix this in post. It's not like we're doing this live. It's okay. We'll fix it in post.
So the question is, what are your thoughts?
Oh, there it is. 8-door is Rin level 1, Sakura 3.
Okay. I like it. I just like it. I think there's a lot of really fun red.
Wait, that's hold up. I gotta. That's the Sakura is the one that's like something. Hold up. I just pulled it up.
It's the ice cap.
It's fucking this one. Okay. Plays 3 cards from the top of your deck in your stock. On attack. Oh yeah. This card is from like in a vacuum, just looking at itself. I really like it.
I think it's fun. I think it's solid. It's gonna close decently. It'll close pretty decently. I'm always a little bit hesitant on stuff that doesn't have a like an intentional modulation.
Yeah.
Because it's like you could swing for 0, you could swing for 4. You don't know what you're swinging for, and that always makes me a little anxious.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But other than that, like, it's real solid, and I like a lot of the red stuff. Like, I love the new back row rune. It's pay 1, rest 2, look it up to 4, and add a level 1 or higher card into hand. I love that.
Oh yeah,
I'm a
it's solid.
I'm a I'm a huge fan of the new level 0 Saber Altar. On play, clock yourself, clock a character. On play you can clock a character, look it up to X, X equaling the number of cards on field, like number of characters
Yeah.
on field. Add 1 card to hand.
Add a card.
Yeah, climax is included. There
Yeah.
isn't a climax swapper.
Card.
Yeah, card.
So good. Wait, did you say
It's so good.
there's no climax swapper?
There isn't a climax swapper for most of Fate. There's the Lancer that swaps Excalibur specifically, and then there's the level 3 Shiro that can get a climax underneath it when you pay 1 on play. But it's like you're paying 2 for the character, and then you're paying 1 to go get the climax underneath it. So like there's like it's like a kind of a climax because it'll put the climax underneath it, and then at the start of your climax phase, you can take a climax from underneath it and put it onto the field.
Yeah.
So like it's it's fine. It's just kind of expensive if you're not playing yellow. So like there aren't great climax fix options in Fate, but that level 0 altar is super fun. And yes, there's the 2-1 Elia. Thank you, Stock Swap. There is the 2-1 Elia.
Oh yeah, 2-1 level 3 assist Ilya climax swap.
Like
Heaven's Field from
yeah,
Volume 1.
Yeah, so like the climax swap options are not fantastic because like either you have to play you're playing a blue level 2 or you're playing the Shiro level 3, so they're expensive and awkward if you're not playing those, if you're not focused on those colors. And then like the Lancer only gets the Excalibur. So in my head, I if you want to play red, for example, like if you want to play the 8 door, the 8 salvage, you run the level 0 Saber Altar. Because then you can top check for cards. It's so good.
That's on an uncommon.
Yeah, it's so good.
Calling it right now, short print. It's gonna be a short print.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
It's an excellent, and it's also got good art because Saber Altar is awesome.
Yeah. Stock Swap Games said $300 stamped. Yeah, I believe it. Edward White said, "Man, I don't know if I can handle such RNG on my finisher, but I've never played with it, so it's a hot take."
Yep, I agree with the RNG on the top end. I completely agree.
Yeah,
like I love stuff that has controlled burn. One of my favorites is actually the Apocrypha top end with Mordred. Because you can control, you burn X equaling the number of cards that are flipped over or face down in your level.
Oh yeah.
And you can control that with both the combo itself and the there's a Joan that you play in the back row that you can tap to flip a card over in your level. So you can control your burn very effectively with that combo, and I like that. There are multiple options, but you can control it with some level of ease.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's super neat.
Jacob Hulich said, "I have no clue what you guys are talking about. Such noob. It's a new set. It's a combo that's coming out. June,
yeah.
Right?
Also,
June, I believe.
It's worth saying, like, it's not. We've accidentally developed because Weiss doesn't have actual keywords on its cards.
Yeah.
Other than like a handful, like Brainstorm, for example. We had to make up a lot of terms. And because we had to make up a lot of terms, some of them kind of cross-pollinated. So like, gate can refer to multiple things.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially confusing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is a bit of a learning curve with learning terminology, which Pittsburgh actually did a really good video on Weiss jargon that I think is really helpful.
Yeah, go watch that video. It helps kind of centralize it, I would say.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz jargon. If you just search for that, you should find it.
Yes.
Or lingo, maybe. I don't know if they said. I think they said jargon.
Yeah, I think
So
I think they used the word jargon.
yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts? Anything else that you want to say?
Well, Jacob asked. You might have already discussed it. What do you think about JKTCG?
Oh yeah, that's right. JKTCG Club. I was in the stream. I was in there. It was wow. The video with 100 jargon names you have to memorize or you're not allowed to play Weiss. Yeah.
Yeah.
My thoughts on JKTCG closing. It's very sad. They were, unlike, I'd say, a majority of the people that used JKTCG services, they were, where I went to buy cards, in person. In a sense, they were my local game store. So with them going away, I have no idea where I'm gonna buy sealed product now. It's very sad. Where am I gonna get information? Like we have all other ways to get information, but for a centralized area where you could get like prices and stuff, it's going to be tough. If anything, it's probably gonna be strictly broken, but that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I honestly, more and more sales they seem to be moving to TCG Player.
Yeah.
Which honestly, with the exception of those wildly overpriced outliers.
Yeah, he did.
And like,
were you in the stream? Were you in the stream? Because he talked about this. June talked about this.
I was not in the stream.
Oh, dude, he pretty much confirms like, yeah, we have no idea why these cards are popular. It's pretty much what he said. It's like, yeah, card art. If cards are different, like the art is different from super rare to like the regular rarity, the character. But other than that, we have no idea why these are popular. And yeah, somebody mentioned it's like, what about the $80 like early drop aqua? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, oh shit. Well, it was a very sad stream. It was very depressing. I was like, all right, don't cry. All right, here are the tears. I gotta go get tacos now, but I gotta cry.
Yeah.
I was listening to the stream and my girlfriend was like, what are you listening to? And I was like, I'm listening to my last 4 years. My last 5 years. It was sad. It was sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always sad when a shop closes.
Definitely, yeah.
It's just sad when a shop closes. But I think that going forward, like what Edward's saying, yeah, TCG is an aggregator. And I think that's what makes it work. At least in like, I can only speak for the US.
Yes.
I can only speak for the US. In the United States, the easiest place to get Weiss cards online consistently is usually TCG Player.
Oh, yeah.
And because a bunch of people post there and they see what everyone else is posting, that means there's a little bit of competition there, so it keeps prices more stable.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You don't always get your best deal by going to TCG Player. Sometimes, like I have found, like it's random, right? Like sometimes I will find that the best price is on Nova TCG, or the best price is on Strictly Broken. Like what I do when I'm going to buy a lot of cards is I shop around and I go to all the shops. Like I'll look through Ideal 808. I've ordered through there. It's a Canadian shop. I think I've ordered from there before.
Yeah.
You look through. You sometimes you see something in a Facebook group or something, right? JK for me was always like the ceiling. This is the highest price I am willing to pay for this card. And
yeah, he mentioned that on stream as well, that his whole purpose of setting all those prices was like so other card shops were able to in a sense, because it was a sort of non-profit, like all the money that he made went back into the business, which is in a sense like also like how me and my buddy run our record label. Like all the money that we make through our like all the vinyl and the cassettes that we sell goes straight back into the
Yeah.
business because that's the way he was running it. He
Mhm.
he said that he was okay with like people like undercutting because that way other places were like let's say like there's just like a random shop like I think like Jacob just said like I have one store in my state that carries Weiss Schwarz in store
Yep.
and I have to drive an hour like that store who has like an actual like legit storefronts like they have rent. JKTCG was just a booth in a larger like store.
Yeah.
They have a chance to sell their product. Wait, and when he said that, I was like, "Oh damn, JKTCG is so fucking noble. Like they deserve to
Yeah.
be knighted. Like it's insane." And yeah, he pretty much said that he set all those prices there because so other stores are able to sell their product, especially like mom and pop shops, like brick and mortar stores.
Mhm.
Which yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where I'm gonna buy my stuff now. Yeah, I could go to Nova, but I don't think they do like English sealed.
Yeah, and that's also I also buy mostly singles.
Oh yeah,
So
like
like
I like when I buy singles too, but when I want to buy a booster box, now I have nowhere to go. Plus, I always wanted to support JKTCG whenever I was like, oh, you know, this set's
Mhm.
coming out. Like that's where I got my Mob Psycho one. Like every single English booster box, I'd always pre-order through JKTCG. They
Yeah.
were the first store I went to. Bro, I'm gonna cry. They were the first store I went to, and I was like, hey, what's the what's a Weiss Schwarz? And there's like, hey, you want to buy this? And I was like, hey, I'll buy that. So that's how I bought Nisekoi. And that's how I bought like 3 booster boxes of Haruhi because I was like, hey, you know what? I don't need to buy singles. I'll just buy the booster boxes.
when you're so yeah, if possible, and I think everyone's gonna, pretty much agree with this. Whenever possible, buy sealed product from the store you play at.
Definitely, 100%.
If you're buying a box, wherever it is you go for your locals, if they have access to buying boxes or pre-ordering boxes, order through them whenever possible, because that's the stuff that keeps them open.
Definitely. Support your local card shop.
Others, like if if you can't buy a box through them, or if they're if you don't have a local store or whatever, there are definitely online retailers that are reputable, but like sealed product can be harder to find online. Again, I'm talking to someone who mostly buys either singles or play sets.
Yeah.
So like buying singles is not the most difficult thing because they're usually a lot of prices. Multiple places have them unless it's like an older thing. So like buying play sets isn't usually bad. Play sets are like I think the price has more or less been set for play sets. Like generally it's accepted that you buy a play set in the 300 to 350 range.
Yeah.
I think the thing that losing JK could really affect more than anything else, I think, is they were the standard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I was like scared of too. Is like, well, who is going to be setting the standard now? I think
So
the Yu-Gi-Oh community went through something too, but they all like pretty much like rebounded after that. I don't remember who shut down, or like it was like some group that always gave like ratios and prices and stuff, and like everybody followed them.
I think that we're gonna be fine.
I think the world's gonna explode. Honestly, I think we're all gonna die now.
I think that I think the market is going to it's going to fluctuate more than it used to, I think, potentially.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like because this was one of the things about JK is that it was a steadying influence. It kept prices in a window, like it kept things from kind of getting out of control in a lot of cases. Like it couldn't keep everything from getting out of control, but if you were buying if you were gonna buy a level 3 Megamine from the old Konosuba set, you were gonna pay, was it like $40-$45 for it, because that's what JK said it was worth.
Yeah.
You know? And if JK didn't exist, that card probably would have gone for more money. But because JK has been the accepted standard for so long, whatever they say just kind of goes, and we go with it, and that's been good.
Yeah.
Because it's kept prices down on a lot of stuff, like you've said. So I think older singles are going to be harder to get for a reasonable price. Because, like, you know, the Haruhi level 1 is, you know, like a $5 card, $7 card, something like that, because JK says so, even though it's a really hard card to find.
Yeah.
So when you do find it, it's not going for an exorbitant price. But if there's no JK to set that price, that card suddenly becomes a $20, $30, $40 card just because of scarcity.
The Time Machine Haruhi?
The combo list Time Machine Haruhi.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like $5-7 when I got it like 10 months ago.
Yeah.
And like it was hard to find is the thing.
Yeah. Edward White said, as an Australian, the best place to get Weiss cards online is the dark web after you sold a kidney to afford them. Oh, no.
And
I think it was Brazil. Their Yu-Gi-Oh! Release schedule is so like behind, and that to the point that it's like they have a completely different Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta in Brazil than like the rest of the world. Finding fair priced singles aside from TCG players seems really difficult. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to be.
It can be. Like one of the things that I do. So if I'm looking for something, especially from an older set, is I get the card number, and I literally just Google the card number.
Do you buy off of eBay?
I have before.
I have never bought a card on eBay.
I bought off of eBay. I bought off of Amazon. Like I found a play set of the Reen Azamage Brainstormers for like half price on Amazon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were like, I think they were like $5-6 cards. I got a play set for like $8.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, it was insane. And like, I mean, they were the cards. Like, so you can occasionally find some really good stuff on eBay, Amazon, but like what I do is I'll search the card number.
The card number,
yeah, when you search the whole card number with like the slash and everything, it will pull up any result, and most of those are shops. So like you can click through, you can see like what Strictly Broken's price is, what Nova has, you know, what Ideal Games has. So like you can just kind of go through, and you can see what the availability is. You can compare prices. With older cards, it's oftentimes it's just like finding someone who has it, you know.
Yeah.
But you can. It takes a little bit of digging, but like between TCG Player and all these other shops, Kerwin's I know is one. And then obviously, if you then Card Market is a place where you can get cards. So there are places. I don't think that losing JK is going to lose. I don't think that's going to cause us to like not be able to find cards, because JK oftentimes wouldn't have older stuff in stock anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it might make the prices harder to negotiate.
Yeah, I think that too. It's going to be pretty hard to negotiate these prices.
Like when I bought my card captor drop searches, for example, these double rare card captor, or these like promo card captor drop searchers are like $25 a piece, but it's because JK said they were $25 a piece. There were no other prices anywhere else. They weren't available in any other store. The only real price was what JK said. So like when I put the word out on Facebook that I wanted one, and I got people responding to me, I was like, JK says 25. You want 25? And they were like, sure.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat right now.
It's gonna get more difficult. What was that?
Sorry, I was reading the chat right now. There's some steals on eBay. That makes me never want to open sealed product. Stock Swap Games, I thought Ideal was from Hawaii. They are. You said they're from Canada. And then Brandon said, let him dream.
Oh no, I'm getting confused with
Strictly
shoot.
Strictly Broken. Strictly Broken's from Canada, right?
There's another one. Shoot. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'm not thinking Ideal. I got my wires crossed. I'm not thinking of Ideal. I'm thinking of somebody else. Hold on. I'll figure it out. Keep going.
Depends on the local stock swap. There's two places that sell Weiss in my area. One is pretty good and the other one not so much. And stock swap said that all the ones in my state upcharge, knowing it's 2 times or more than MSRP. I haven't really at least from like my experience, like because like I do go like on tour with my band and stuff, and like go to like different states and like different parts of the country and stuff. From what I've noticed from like other card shops that I visited to, there's one that always stands out. I think it was 2018 or 2019. I was up in Portland, Oregon, and I was hanging out with one of my buddies. He wanted to play Magic. He just wanted to play Magic for some reason. Or the drummer in my band, and he was like, all right, well, we'll meet up with this one dude. He goes by the rapper named Juicy Carcass. He's a awful human being now, but he was cool back then. But he was like, all right, yeah, we'll play Magic the Gathering. They were playing Magic the Gathering and stuff, and I saw that they had Weiss Schwarz cards, and they were like pretty much begging me to purchase their entire stock of Nisekoi stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I guess it's like, but I feel like that was like a lot back then. A lot of card shops were like buying into Weiss Schwarz, and then just kind of like not selling.
Yeah.
And that
like,
was
yeah. The first cards I ever got were it was a marked down Haruhi trial deck. That was just like it was part of the last of it was the last of a card shop in town's Weiss stock.
move.
They said they tried to buy into it and they tried to sell it, but it just didn't move. So like they had a few trial decks left, one of which was the Haruhi.
How marked down was it?
Like $10.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So
A lot of the conventions, at least in my area, there are like every now and then like a booth that sells like Weiss stuff, and it's always marked down. Not like the usual suspects like HSI or like, well, not JKTCG anymore. Well, at the time, like not the usual suspects, just like card shops that have nothing to do with Weiss. They always sell Weiss. Like I got my my Nissan Monogatari Meister set for like $10.
Yeah.
That's like a $35 product right there. I got it for like $10, and I was like, all right. They were selling trial decks for like $5 at a time too.
the one that I'm thinking of is not Ideal. It's Treasure Chest Games out of Canada.
I've literally never heard of that. But shout out to Treasure Chest.
I have bought from them a few times, and it's been a good experience. So, I'll occasionally find some. They'll have some random single that is hard to get elsewhere. They'll just have it for whatever reason, and I've never had a bad experience with them, either price or purchasing. So my bad. I got my wires crossed. Ideal 808 is not the one I was thinking of, although I purchased from them as well. I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I purchased from Ideal quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think. Oh, geez, we almost hit 3 hours. All right. I think it's a good place to call it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Again, this is Colton, the half of the Clock Tower. If you haven't subscribed to the Clock Tower, yeah. Here, let me send the link. Clock Tower Weiss. You could just Google the Clock Tower Weiss, and you'll get it. Or you could just follow this link here. Subscribe to them. Great people. Awesome content. Support your local card shops and all that good stuff. And thank you so much. Let's do this again. This was really fun. Maybe Brandon will be able to join next time. That'd be kind of cool.
Hopefully, I'll see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, totally. And okay, be honest. Do you think I should make this like a series? Like just get like different like Weiss YouTubers and just like kind of like a podcast.
I think it would be super cool to have different Weiss tubers on stream on the regular. I think that would be pretty dope.
Yeah, I think that would be too. Stock Swap Games, you're next. Clear your schedule. All right. And with that, yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Thanks you all for hanging out in the chat.
Yep.
It was super fun.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone in chat too. Take care.